Hey guys, what's going on? It's Josh the Millennial here, and today I am making a divided beta tank. As you can see, the first step in making a divided beta tank is to obviously divide the tank in half. Using a tape measure, I measured halfway through the tank and a 1/4 inch on each side of that mark to where I would be putting the tape. Now the tape is going to be important because when you put the center brace in, the tape will help make sure that you have a clear line of silicone holding in the center brace. Now you do want to be sure that these are as even throughout as possible because aesthetically it doesn't look the greatest if it's not, but you get the idea. The cleaner the lines, the better the finished product will look. And you do want to make sure that you try to line it up as close to your marks as you can, and as you can see, I got a perfect line in the center. Now the next thing I am doing is I am measuring the side of what the inner piece is going to be. Now one thing you're going to want to do is you actually measure the inner side of the glass aquarium. You can see you kind of have two layers when the two sheets rest next to each other, because if you measure the outside layer, your centerpiece will be too big. So you do want to make sure that you measure the inner side of the tank aquarium. I am currently using a black board that I had for a previous tank, and I had some holes drilled in it to allow water movement to flow from one side of the tank to the other, and I am using the X-Acto knife you've seen in previous videos to cut the board out. Now, after some fidgeting with it, I got the piece of plastic to fit in the center, and I went ahead and grabbed the silicone. Now, the silicone I am using is white all-purpose silicone. It's going to be the Silicone 1. Typically, I like to use clear silicone for this, but this is what I had, and quite frankly, I didn't want to run out to the store just to buy silicone, and I think it would look cool with the blue background, but maybe that's just me justifying being lazy. So, as you can see, what I am doing is I am squirting a small layer of silicone on the bottom and about the bottom half of the glass going up the side of the tank, and I'm using my finger to squeegee in the rest. Now, in terms of the tape, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's your DIY project, so you can make this looks as good as you want. But the most important thing to do is once you put the silicone on where you like it, go ahead and remove the tape. Because if you leave the tape on for too long, what's going to happen is the silicone is going to connect to the tape, and it's going to be a pain to remove the tape. And this will leave you with a cleaner line for the finished product for the tank. So as you can see, this is about 24 hours later after the silicone is dried. I added a heater and a filter because every tank needs one, and I started adding substrate from my previous tank. Now I'm using substrate that had been sitting in a previous tank because it has cycled bacteria on it, and that's what you need to cycle a tank. So essentially, once I fill it up with water, I could add fish in the same day. Now, there's not a lot of water movement between one tank and the other, and that's fine. Betas don't like a whole lot of water movement as it is, and I just want to make sure that no beta can see the other beta on the other side of the tank. Now, here's the finished product. This is about 15 minutes later. I let some of the dust and debris settle, and you can still see some bubbles on the tank, but I went ahead and added my beta fish. I think the product turned out quite nice, and it's something I would do in the future. So as always, give this video a thumbs up, like it, and subscribe. Have a great day, and keep on beta keeping. You get the idea.